For many of us, home is our refuge, a place we create that allows us to relax and be with the people we love. Liz Marie Galvan's book, Cozy White Cottage Seasons, shares a year's worth of ideas. Amity asked her to show us her favorite ways to make summertime entertaining cozy.
Yeah, so when we're talking about our outdoor spaces, I'm usually talking about our indoor spaces when we're talking about creating coziness. But now this time of year, we're approaching summer. We want to be outside. And so if you think of your five senses, you can really use it as a guide to make any space cozy. So think of music, scents, you can bring in candles, fresh flowers. So anything seasonal, just outdoors now.
Well, I love your book, Cozy White Cottage, with all the different seasons. It's divided up into seasons. Here is summer. Let's get started with your 5 tips for a cozy summer season. Number 1, bring the outdoors inside, the indoors outside, I should say.
Yeah, so when I'm talking to people about making their indoor spaces cozy, my number 1 tip is always to bring the outdoors in, because nature is cozy and it brings life to our spaces. But now we're outside, we're already surrounded by beautiful nature. So bring the indoors outside is bringing your amenities that make your home cozy outside: furniture, linens, cushions, candles, decor, to make it feel like an extension of your home and make your guests feel cozy.
I love that. And one big part of that, though, is having the proper seating outside, right?
Yes, and that's my tip number 2 is consider your seating and consider bugs and consider shade. So I know when my family's coming over, my dad does not like to be in the sun. So I know to have proper seating in the shade for him. That could be under a pergola like we are now, under an umbrella, under a tree, and really consider your seating for your guests, whether they're young toddlers up until they're aging. Really think of your guests that are coming over and having seating for everyone. And then bug control. What time of day are you doing this? Are you going to have food? You can have food covers like this one, citronella candles, and even plants that repel bugs. So just considering all of those things before you host.
That's a good point. All right, let's go back to your 5 senses. How do you really appeal to those 5 senses outside?
Yeah, so again, cozy to me is my 5 senses being at peace at once. And we can really think of that inside, but we can also bring that outside. You can be playing music to set the mood. You can have candles lit. You can have fresh flowers. You could have yard games, or even outdoor movies is really great for a site. You can do, sorry, it's so windy, good food and good drinks. Just really think of your 5 senses, and that can really make the space cozy, and you can use it as a guide to do so.
And you know what? You're dealing with some wind there, which is just part of being outdoors, but it looks like everything is holding steady. So there you have it. I love in your book, you also have a recipe for fresh lemonade. You say outdoor drinks to inspire summer are very important.
Yes, for my tip number 4, we really want to think of serving our guests, and a cool drink station is awesome. Guests love it. You could do different types of lemonade. I talk about hot chocolate bars, apple cider bars, just make it seasonal. One thing that I did here was I actually bought this aesthetically pleasing cooler off Amazon, and it fits with our decor, but it also allows my guests to serve themselves. Mm-hmm. So I can relax at my party, but they can also feel at home by getting drinks as they go. And it's just a really great way to serve your guests and make them feel at home.
I think that's great. What a great idea. Another thing that you mentioned is repurposing out indoor items like antiques, or use what's already outside.
Yes, I always want to hit on this, because going out of budget is not cozy. You're not going to feel good in your space if you went out of your budget and overspent. So really stay in your budget, get creative, repurpose items that you already have, shop your mom's basement, your grandma's basement. One thing that I did this year was I was looking for an outdoor table, and everything was way out of budget. And I went to a local antique shop and found a whole set for $150. So think of going to thrift stores, antique shops, and just using what you have already so you don't go out of budget.